Hi, I'm Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. On today's show, I welcome singer, songwriter, producer Bruce Sudano. Bruce is promoting his new album with Angels on a Carousel, and he performs live on today's program. Bruce is no stranger to the pop scene as a former member of the bands Alive and Kickin' and also Brooklyn Dreams. And today he opens up about his music and also about the loss of his wife, legendary disco queen Donna Summer. I know you will enjoy today's show, so stay tuned to Border Crossings on VOA TV.
You're caught in a hurricane.
Hi, I'm Larry London. It's Border Crossings, and today we have a special guest in our studios, a guy who's been making music for a number of years, both as a songwriter and a performer with a number of different, very, very popular and successful bands over the years. We'd like to welcome to Washington, D.C. and to Border Crossings, Bruce Sudano. Welcome.
Hey, happy to be here. Good morning.
Hey, it's great to see you.
Yes.
It's great to have you here. And
Thank you.
You guys, you brought the band with you today. on
Candyman
tour.
Band.
The Candyman Band.
Randy Mitchell, Colin Kupka.
And where'd you come up with the name Candyman Band?
Well, okay.
Let's start off with that question.
Randy and I toured with my wife for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and her nickname for him was the Candyman. So when I was putting this band together, I said, Randy, help me put the band together. We're actually, this is 3/5 of the band.
Ah.
So we started playing gigs, and I needed a name, and I said, well, Randy, put the band together. We'll call it the Candyman Band.
Cool.
There you go.
That's very, very nice. Now, you typically, all musicians work year round. They don't stop. There's really no off time. And I know that currently,
Well, not a willing one.
not a willing off time. Sometimes necessity. Yeah, but you have been on tour with the Zombies
Yes.
as of late.
Yes.
And so that's got to be a fun time, bringing back some of the memories of the Zombies and.
Yeah, it's we have the same agency, and we've been playing some shows around, and the agent's like, you guys would be a perfect fit with the Zombies, and they're having a resurgence, and we said, well, hey, we love the Zombies. They're rock originators, and let's do it. So
Yeah. Still going strong. You are after all these years.
Yeah.
Still making music.
Well, I need it to survive, and so you do what you love to do, and it makes it all worthwhile. Otherwise you're like, I'm bumping into walls.
Yeah. Well, you started on the accordion.
I started on the accordion.
How did you
yeah.
evolve from there at age 4, and then what was next?
Well, when I was, it was like I was one of those guys whose my grandfather went to Italy and brought me an accordion. So I was obligated to play the accordion from the time I was little, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. I didn't like it. All my friends were outside playing touch football, and and I was forced to practice. So at some point, I put it down. But then when I was 12, somebody called my house and told my mother that there was a gig with a guitarist and a trumpet player for a bar mitzvah, and they needed an accordion player. So I went and did it, and I made $20, and I was hooked. I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, it was just, I was in the music biz.
And all the babes were screaming for the accordion guy.
Oh yeah, it was an ongoing evolution of where at some point I had a pickup installed on my accordion,
Right.
and from there I went to the keyboards and the bass guitar and guitar, but my first love was always songwriting, and I grew up under the shadow of the Brill Building in Brooklyn, and so I always aspired to be a songwriter in the ilk of Lieber and Stoller and Carole King and Neil Diamond and all those kind of people, and so that was really my motivation.
Well, we're thrilled to have you in the studios. Bruce Sudano's here with the Candyman Band, and we're going to ask you to do a song, and then we're going to get into some more about Bruce Sudano.
Okay.
I know you have quite an accomplished and recognized past, and you've got a few personal things that we want to talk about as well. So,
Sure.
So Bruce Sudano and the Candyman Band. What are you going to play for us?
This is a song called "Beautiful Life."
Beautiful Life. This is the Voice of America.
Okay. This is it. This is it. The only one you got. This is it. There's a clock on the wall that's a ticking. There's a pot on the boil in the kitchen. There's a woman down the hall gonna miss it. This is your one beautiful life. Two, 1, 2, 3. There's a knock on the door, you gotta answer. Somebody needs a little more, they're gonna ask you. If you wanna get ahead, move a little faster. This is your one beautiful life. There's a sun in the sky up above you. Somebody laying in the bed gonna love you. There's a place you gotta go on the run to. This is your one beautiful life. This is your one beautiful life. Live it up. Get it right. You don't get the chance to go around twice. Learn about love. This is your one beautiful life. Somebody's got a bun cooking in the oven. Somebody that you know needs a bit of loving. People dying every day, ain't that something? This is your one beautiful life. This is your one beautiful life. Live it up. Get it right. You don't get the chance to go around twice. All about love. This is your one beautiful life. Live every moment of every day. Find a little bit of truth along the way. Don't give up on your dreams 'cause you're too afraid. 'Cause in the end it's all just gonna fade. There's a clock on the wall that's a ticking. There's a pot on the boil in the kitchen. There's a woman down the hall gonna miss it. This is your one beautiful life. This is your one beautiful life. Live it up. Get it right. You don't get the chance to go around twice. Learn about love. This is your one beautiful life. This is your one beautiful life. Beautiful life. This is your one beautiful life. Beautiful life. This is your one beautiful life.
Woo! Woo! Sounding great.
There
Bruce
you go.
Sudano here in our studios in downtown Washington, D.C. The new EP, Bruce Sudano with Angels on a Carousel.
There you go.
Long time in the making.
Yeah.
And so, tell me about the music on the album. Describe the sound you're going after with the new CD.
Well, the new CD is really the outshoot and the formation of the band. I wrote the songs. Randy produced the record, and all the songs were written. They came out of a very deep time of my life when I encountered a very life-changing experience. And so while the songs are deep and it's a crucial matter that the songs discuss, it certainly is at the same time a record that's hopeful. Mm-hmm. And I hope to be inspiring to people, and I hope to encourage people, and there you go.
Mm-hmm. So if I may ask, when we're talking about the personal moment, is that the loss of your wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
With all respect to you, my condolences on your loss. A lot of people may or may not know that your wife was Donna Summer,
That's
the
correct.
legendary queen of disco, certainly one of the most significant, prolific figures to come out of music in terms of the disco movement. She was the queen of disco.
Yes.
And you were married for how long?
32 years.
32 years, and I know it's still very painful. She left us all great memories and great music, and you were involved with writing some of her music. In fact, Bad Girls, you wrote the song, one of her biggest hits.
Yeah, co-wrote Bad Girls with her, yes.
And a number of other songs, I know you were involved with her projects and whatnot.
Yeah, no. We were partners for a long time, and, I've done everything from be her manager to her counselor and her background singer and songwriter and some production stuff.
And of
things
course,
like
you
that.
carry on her memory, and your children as well are here with us. And I know you have a daughter from Johnny Swim doing some musical stuff as well.
I have another daughter, Brooklyn, who's an actress, and she's currently in Cleveland filming a movie for Lifetime. She was for a number of years on a series called My Wife and Kids, and I have 5 grandchildren, and but I'm still on the road. I'm still having fun playing music and carrying on.
Mm-hmm. Was she with us when it was made? The decision was made for her to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Was she?
No,
she was not aware.
Unfortunately, no. She was up for it the 2 years prior, and somehow didn't get voted in, and then as it turned out, she moved on and. She got the induction then.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And this must be like a cathartic thing for you, a part of the healing and the moving forward.
Exactly. But again, at the same time, it's not a depressing record.
Right. No, not at all.
It's. I really hope to through my experience, I hope to let people know that, life goes on and you have to keep moving with life. And,
right.
Even though we don't understand why certain things happen, and I spent a good bit of time trying to answer that question or get an answer for that question. And, you just have to accept God's will sometimes and all the time, really, and keep going. So
it was very difficult, we don't feel the same pain you feel. We feel the pain, the loss of a music legend who touched us in many different ways. But, our thoughts are with you and in this healing time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And so, but the music goes on.
Yeah.
And you're a representative of her music, your music, the collective effort. And so we're very happy to have you with us. Bruce Sudano's in the studios. You also have been involved, and you mentioned Brooklyn. Brooklyn, I know, is so important to you. Who names a kid after the city they're from?
Yeah.
I mean, that must be,
Well, yeah. Well, I find Brooklyn, I always felt Brooklyn was a very inspiring place. There are lots of legendary people who came out of Brooklyn. And for me, I always viewed it as, because Brooklyn was so close to Manhattan and, and basically the center of the world where all things were possible. And you're just on the other side of that bridge. And so it's not really a big leap to come from being a guy that's in a neighborhood where, next door you could be living next door to, a Nobel Prize winner, and the guy on the other side is a plumber, and so it's just that kind of melting pot in Brooklyn, and it's a place where just dreams are born and possible. You know, so
it's a great place to be for music. I mean, that's a great place to be from, because a lot of legendary performers are from there. Now, you know, you started off as a songwriter. I guess you were making music, but you really kind of hit your stride. I think you wrote Mony Mony for Tommy James.
No, I didn't write Mony Mony. I wish I did. But I wrote a song for Tommy James called Ball of Fire. And the following year, that was in 1969. And then the following year in 1970, he produced my band, which was called Alive and Kickin', and we had
Tighter and Tighter.
Had a big song, Tighter Tighter.
Yes, and Brooklyn Dreams.
Yes, but Tommy was really my mentor, because here I was a teenager, and I've been playing in clubs in Manhattan for years while I was working going through high school and college, and but he was the first guy that it wasn't like it is now. Back in those days, you couldn't just get into a recording studio. It was, it was a dream just to record. Studios were, expensive, and they were booked, and you couldn't get in. And but he was the first guy to take me under his wing, bring me into a studio, show me how records were made, really, and basically, taught me how to write a pop song and how to produce a record, and so I'm, forever grateful to Tommy.
Is the songwriting probably more so your favorite than the performing, or is it equal, or do you have a favorite part of the business?
Well, the performing, I would say it's equal, because, but the performing is much easier than the songwriting. The song, it's like, I always felt like performing is like just fun, because the song is already written, the words, the chords, and it's just like, let's go. But when you're writing a song, you have to emotionally find that place and say it in a clever way, try not to be cliche, and so put your own twist on it,
Do you ever write a song and you feel, I know this is going to be a hit? Have you written something that just kind of jumped off, or is it something that happens by chance?
No. For me, it's always been an accident, because typically what I've always found is that, I'd say, oh, there it is there, and I'd be walking down this road saying, there it is right in front of me, and, and then I keep walking because nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, over here on the right, plop, something happens, So it's typically always an accident, and but the thing is, you have to stay on the road and keep doing what you do, and be ready when the time comes, as they say.
And for somebody who's done it so well for so long, who do you look up to? Who have you taken your inspiration from?
Who have I taken my inspiration from? Well, I mean, there's no relation to this, but it was an early inspiration to me, was that I had the same birthday as George Gershwin. We were both born on September 26th. So early on, when I was a kid, that was an anchor that I hooked onto. But, I love Dylan. I love Sinead O'Connor.
That's great.
And Lieber and Stoller, all those guys that I said earlier. So those were always my inspirations.
Do you ever get advice from somebody that kind of touched you, that stood out beyond? I mean, everybody's got an opinion and a thought, but with all the people you've collaborated with, somebody must have said, why don't you? And wow, a light went off.
Well, yeah, I think my wife, it was always an interesting thing, because although I wrote many songs with her, and my particular style was always a different genre than what she was in, and and her comment to me was always, Bruce, be true to yourself. You be you. Be the best you can be. Don't compare yourself. Don't. And so I found that to be the best piece of advice that I can, because a lot of times in life, it's a big mistake for an artist to chase it. It's like, okay, this is happening now, and so let me musically try to copy what these guys are doing because they're happening now. That's a big no-no. But it's also a big temptation, because you want to succeed and you want to do well, and but her advice, and I second that emotion, is be who you are and be the best you can be and stay in your own lane.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you listen to today's music, having been a part of a number of different eras of music, what do you think of today's music?
Well, I think that like in every era, there are things that are great and there are things that are not so great,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's true for every genre of music, you know. So I think there are really cool things happening now, and then I think that there are other things that are not so good, and you know, we're in a very pop-driven time, but I came up in a very pop-driven time, so
Right.
You know, that's the way it is, and that's fine.
Bruce Sudano is our guest on The Voice of America. Stay tuned. We're going to find out his connection to Michael Jackson in just a minute. But before we do that, can you do another song for us?
Be happy to. Here
That'd
you
be
go.
great.
So recently I was in an art gallery. And while I was in this art gallery, there I was staring at a piece of art. And I'll make this story much shorter than I usually do. Anyway, there's this girl came up next to me, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw her standing there, and she said, "Excuse me, sir." And the first thing I thought was, she called me sir. And then she says, "What is that art saying to you?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. It's pastel, and it's got paper mache and some butterfly wings and a big chunk of cement." I said, "I think it signifies somebody that's sensitive but yet strong and driven and committed." And she said, "Well, that's exactly right, because I'm the artist, and that's what I was thinking." And then she asked me, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I write songs." I said, "That's interesting." And we got to talking, and she started telling me about her love life and how difficult it was for her to have a relationship because men were threatened by her, because she was driven and determined and had a career. And I said, "Well, you know, I've always found that in every strong woman there's a gentle girl, because I've had some time with strong women, and there's always a gentle girl under there." And she said, "Well, now that's a song." So then I wrote this song. In a world of steel and ice, Amelia's on a solo flight. Hasn't been an easy life. There's no compromise. Lovers, they have melted. Snowmen in the sun just couldn't take the fiery heat. Don't know how to love, but when you're man enough to pull the veil, in a strong woman, there's a gentle girl. There's a gentle girl. She can dream, got a vision all her own, but she don't need to be alone. A sister in the danger zone, a stranger in the night. Something they might like it, try it on for size. Find out that the fit's too tight, go running for their lives. But when the hammer hits the nail, in a strong woman, there's a gentle girl. Putara, tu feteva torero pau. Putara, tu fetera tarara. Now it ain't meant to threaten. She can lift you up, take you where you never been. Be a special one. Give up a little piece of you, get back so much more. You never know what you might find underneath it all. To the world, she's a razor sharp to cut, shoulders that are strong enough Always been the way she was, black sheep since she's young. Now she wonders if he's out there, so many times she's tried. Hope is on the shallow, hanging on with all her might. But when the train stays on the rail, in a stronger woman, there's a gentle girl. There's a gentle girl. 1, 2, 3. When the hammer hits the nail, when the train stays on the rail, if you're man enough to pull the veil, in a strong woman, there's a gentle girl.
Great. Bruce Sudano, the Candyman Band, they're here on the Voice of America, Border Crossings Live in our studios. The new CD is Bruce Sudano with Angels on a Carousel. People can get this online.
Online, Amazon, iTunes, the whole deal.
Wherever CDs are available. So go there and get a copy of this CD. It's a great sounding CD.
Thank you, sir.
How long did it take you to put this together?
It took us about a year.
A year.
I guess, over the course of writing the songs, recording the songs, and picking and choosing and tweaking them.
Mm-hmm. Do you have some favorites? I imagine they're all your favorites, but...
Actually, my favorite song is a song called In a Stormy Season. And I like it because basically the message of that song is find God in the circumstance. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
That's great. That's excellent. Do you have a website where people can go and...
Yeah, BruceSudano.com.
Easy enough. BruceSudano.com. Yeah. So we were talking a little bit ago about Michael Jackson, and we know that you're an accomplished songwriter, an award-winning, internationally recognized songwriter. So tell me, Michael Jackson, how does he come into play? How did he get into your career?
Well, at some point in time, as a songwriter... I found that a good route to go would be to co-write with the producers of records. Because typically at a certain point in time, actually in the 80s, artists would work with the producers and producers would create tracks. So anyway, Michael Omartian, who is a good friend of mine, was producing the Jacksons and... ultimately was producing the Jacksons and Jermaine Jackson. So I got brought in as a co-writer with Michael and Jermaine and the Jacksons to write some songs for their records. And at some point in time, we wrote a song called Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming, which was originally going to be for Jermaine. And Michael came into the studio and just loved the song and asked to sing on it. So... we were reluctant at first. We said, I'm sorry, Michael. We really don't want... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no thanks, Mike. Thanks, but no thanks.
Obviously, we were like thrilled and overjoyed and that he liked the song, first of all. And then so he came in here and cut the track, and there you go.
And he said, you're going to give this to my brother? No, you're not.
Yeah, well, there was a little bit of a debate with record companies and whatever, but it worked it out.
Well, that's fantastic to have met him. And I know that you have also touched many others musically throughout the years, like Reba McEntire and Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Well, Dolly was an interesting story as well. And I talked earlier about how things just happened by accident. So my parents were basically married for 30 years, and at the 30-year mark decided that they were going to get divorced. And even though I was an adult at the time, it still was a shock to my system. And so I went off and started writing this song called Starting Over Again, which is basically chronicling the divorce of my parents. And at some point while I'm writing the song, my wife comes into the room and says, you should put a line in the song like, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put your parents back together, something like that. I said, okay. So somehow I worked that into the song. And of course, as it would work out with my wife, that would be the line of the song. That would be like the most memorable line of the song, But anyway, so... and she never, my wife never recorded the song, but, in her way of thinking, she was going on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and said, you know what, I'm going to sing this song on the Tonight Show because maybe if I sing this song and your parents hear the song, they'll get back together. So I was like, honey, I mean, it's a nice idea, but really, I don't think there's any way that my parents are going to get back together at this point. She was like, well, don't say that, think positive. And so anyway, Donna went on the Tonight Show and sang Starting Over Again. And so the next day, Dolly calls and says, I heard this song. I want to record this song. Can I record this song? And I was like, once again, I was like, well, Dolly, let me think about it. And but kidding. Obviously, I said, yeah, please.
Let me give it to Michael. That's right. Maybe Michael wants it.
Please record the song, So Dolly went and recorded the song, and it became, a #1 country record. And there you go. That's how it happened, And subsequently, the same thing with Reba. Reba heard Dolly's version of the song, and Reba then recorded it, some years later. So,
wow, you've done it all.
Well, you just do what you do, and then sometimes, the sun shines.
Pop hits, country hits, rock hits.
Yeah.
You've covered all the genres.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to talk about Donna still? I mean, because I hear you
Not now.
No? Okay.
I think it's obviously a process, and I've gone from not being able to show my face in public, to not wanting to encounter people that knew us, to not being able to listen to music, to not being able to look at a video, to, and now I'm at a place where, I want to talk about Donna, and my family and I, we are committed to maintaining her legacy and showing her in the greatest light, because she was just the most extraordinary person. And the Grammy Museum has an exhibition that's up and running now. It's called Four Seasons of Love. It'll be up for the next year, and every season they're going to change out the stuff to keep it going. And lots of things Donna related that we continue to do, and there will be stuff happening all the time. So
a lot of people wouldn't know this, but you make it sound as if she was a good songwriter, that she did a lot of songwriting.
Donna was a great songwriter. She wrote most of her hits, from She Works Hard for the Money to Love to Love You Baby and I Feel Love and On the Radio and This Time I Know It's For Real and Onward and Onward. So
and what, the people who knew her on stage and for the performing and and for the music, you knew her for much more. What could you tell us about her that might surprise us, that we didn't know?
Well, first of all, she was hysterically funny. And, Donna considered herself, her autobiography was called Ordinary Girl, because she considered herself an ordinary person. And which she was, but, anytime Donna walked into a room, to anybody who was in that room, it was quickly evident this was no ordinary person. She was extraordinary. But, and she was the most human person, and she was the funniest person. So her sense of humor was great. And she was also a person who, if she met you, she would say, oh, Larry, those sneakers, where did you get those sneakers? And you would tell her the story. And then 10 years later, you'd be walking down the street, somewhere, and you'd bump into Donna. And you'd say, Donna, hi, remember me? I'm Larry. And, she'd say, oh, yeah, those sneakers you had were the greatest. And you'd be like, how does she remember those sneakers? But that's who she was, And she never would talk about herself. She would always want to know about you and would always remember.
Well, well, thank you for sharing that with us. I know that, as I said earlier, that the grieving goes on, but eventually becomes honoring her, and you carry on that torch.
Yes,
for
and
her.
I guess I'm at that place now because we're talking about it.
Right, that's wonderful. Well, thank you. I appreciate you opening up for not only me but for the audience around the world.
Yeah,
and I understand a lot of her fans are tuned in to hear this as well, to hear from you, because they care about you and how the family's doing and all that. So, Bruce Sudano is our guest on Border Crossings. You have been on. You've been in films, American Hot Wax. You were on the Bandstand, the big Bandstand show. You've done a lot of different things. Is there one particular event or a memory that stands out in your mind in your career?
I'd have to say, and this goes back to Donna again, because it's a recent thing, but it was also very important, and it was the night that my daughters and I accepted the award at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for her, because it was really important to us, and it was really important to me, and I had to speak and represent Donna, and fortunately, from what I'm told, it came off very well, and we represented her well. And so that's really important to me. And so that's the thing that stands out in my mind right now.
No, wonderful. Well, you know, you've
up until now,
up to today.
To today, this is the moment.
This is going to be the highlight. Right?
This is it.
I certainly hope not.
Well,
for you, but it is a highlight for me.
Yeah. Well.
Bruce Sudano's in our studios, and we're talking about how many albums has this been now? I mean, you have been involved with, released, recorded, written for, produced.
You know, Bruce Sudano started a solo career. In 1980, I recorded my first solo album for RCA Records. And 1980 was the year that I got married. Mm-hmm. And once I got married, I had a decision to make. Because here I was married to Donna, and we started having kids. And I recognized early on that there was no way that we were going to be able to maintain our relationship and our family if I was off trying to be, you know, the solo guy and she had her career. So I willingly and happily said, okay, solo career on the side. I continued writing songs and had success doing that and did lots of things and toured with Donna. But, you know, the family and the relationship took that priority over, and no regrets involved. But did that. And then in 2004, our youngest kid went off to college, and Donna said, you know, you can start being you again. Mm-hmm. And so in 2004, I recorded my second solo album, and this is my third since then.
Third, so. Wow. And I know this is your first interview in a while, that
yes,
you've needed the time to heal,
yes.
And I appreciate you coming here today and doing this for us on the Voice of America, around the world, worldwide fans of your music and Donna's music. Yeah. And if you wouldn't mind doing another song for us.
Okay, this is a new song that we haven't even played yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it on the new album?
It's not even on the new album.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is the bonus.
This is the bonus. Let's see. There's always a mystery, and Sherlock's nowhere to be found. And a calculated guess is the best you can do, 'cause you can't see through the clouds. When circumstance is the stepchild to your fate, and there's still so many choices to be made. Good intentions and the sweetest things all wait the revelation of time. Baby, let's dream together, chase a rainbow in the sky. You and I, maybe we can see forever with these stars in our eyes. Get swept up in the ghost of things and fly. Let's fly. We've all got a story of a long and winding road, mountains that were climbed in glory, and the valleys that we've known. long walks in the sun, dark nights of the soul. There are no easy answers, still I believe in what the future holds. Baby, let's dream together, chase the rainbow in the sky, you and I. Maybe we can see forever with these stars in our eyes. Get swept up in the ghost of things and fly. As high as we can go. No, there are no easy answers. All we can do is walk by faith. So come on, baby, let's take our chances. Roll the dice, let's be brave. Said there are no easy answers. All we can do is walk by faith. So come on, baby, let's take our chances. Come on, baby, let's be brave. Let's be brave. Let's fly. Let's fly. Verse. There's always a mystery, and Sherlock's nowhere to be found.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Love
Thank you.
it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for doing that for us.
All right.
That's great. Bruce Sudano, the Candyman Band,
Yeah.
here on the Voice of America. And what an honor and a pleasure it has been to meet you and
Same
to,
here, Larry.
to get to
Thank
know
you.
you. And I wanted to give you a chance, since we're reaching so many people in so many places right now around the world who have supported you, have supported your family over the years, the music. If you want to say hi, or if there's a message, something in your heart you want to reach out, because they don't get a chance to hear from you personally that often.
Well, I just want to say thank you. You know, certainly in light of what has gone on, I am truly appreciative of all the support. I mean, there was a great outreach of support to me and my daughters and our family, and it is greatly appreciated. And see you out on the road. Come on out and see us and say hi and carry on.
Bruce Sudano's back. This
Amen.
is the Voice of America with Angels on a Carousel is the new album. Make sure you pick up a copy. Thank you guys again for being here today.
Thanks, Larry.
I'm
Appreciate it.
Larry London. This is Border Crossings on VOA TV.